Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or if you'd even let me know where you come from, it would be great to know where my followers are from. And leave me a comment, it would be greatly appreciated. Or if you want to look me up at my website, you can do so at www.garethcahoon.co.uk. Or if you'd like to support my ministry work, you can do so at paypal.garethcahoon3@gmail.com. This one here is called How to Spot Evil, the Dummies edition. It never used to be hard at all to spot evil. Most of us immediately knew it when we saw it. That's because not so long ago the world had defined parameters where bad things were more than obvious. We knew what to avoid and which boundaries could not be crossed, but that was then. Today's world is one with deliberate blurred lines designed to confuse and bewilder everyone who dares to set limitations. Instead, just about anything can be justified, thereby escaping judgment or accountability, making all actions and beliefs relative. That is how social constructs came to be. The idea that gender identity is fluid, that people can identify as animals, and that rape is acceptable when committed during wartime, are all profound evils which should scream out to every human being as falling in the category of abject depravity. These days it is not only the acceptance of the deviant behaviour that's troubling, but also unmistakably evil words which should be condemned without hesitation, because when they point to immorality, false comparisons, or just plain dishonesty, they should be exposed for what they are. Towards the end, here's the Dummies edition, highlighting obvious examples of immoral perversions that should be easily recognised. Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Saeed Khashoggi on the purposes of the US and Israel attack against them. America has decided to put an end to the existence of Iran. Israelis have been promising this for many decades because of their delusion about the greater Israel. They would like to put an end to the oldest and greatest civilization on earth, exposing the evil. No mention of Iran's nuclear aspirations or their long-standing declarations to annihilate Israel and the United States by this dishonest Iranian leader. Instead, he falsely accuses those two nations of engaging in war against his country based on his understanding or unsubstantiated claim of their hatred for the Persian civilization and Israel's unrealised desire to gain its full biblical territory. Two malicious lies with no factual basis, yet they are believed and repeated. Ilhan Omar comment about attacking during Ramadan. The US loves to strike Muslim countries during Ramadan, and I'm convinced it isn't what these countries have done to violate international law, but about who they worship. Exposing evil, disregarding the history of when Israel has been attacked during the holiday of Yom Kippur, Simchat Torah, and often on Shabbat. Omar is projecting exactly what has been done to Israel by Allah worshipping Muslims. She has no moral high ground when whining about an Iranian attack during Ramadan. Ex-post of conspiracy theorist Daniel Hagedorn. Israel made sure to initiate its attack against Iran on Purim, perhaps the most evil and violent festival found in any region. Israeli Jews are using it to call for the extermination of not only Palestinians but also Iranians. Exposing the evil. He is right about Purim being the most evil and violent event in any religion, but not in the way he intends. failing to mention the origin of the holiday recorded in the biblical book of Esther is the story of a Haman, a descendant of Amalek who plotted to have all the Jews slaughtered for observing their own laws. He fabricated claims that Israeli Jews are calling for the extermination of Palestinians and Iranians as false. Purim remembers the planned genocide of the Jewish people, a historic fact which is trying to be repeated today. Candace Owens' false flag claims targeting Israel. Once again, well-known podcaster Candace Owens, who has virulently turned against Israel and the Jewish people, has posted a new round of conspiracy claims on X, accusing Israel of orchestrating false flags, invoking the Mossad and sweeping allegations, suggesting a shadowy pro-Israel influence inside US conservatism, as Israel and the US carry out military operations in Iran. In other words, Owens has accused Israel of secretly staging an attack against Iran in order to retaliate against them to obtain a political advantage, exposing the evil. Considering decades of Iran's public declarations to finish off both Israel and the US, the decision to strike their nuclear capabilities, as was done last summer, was again taken knowing that if they weren't stopped now, their aspirations would soon be realised, leaving no way to stop them from being a threat to the entire world. Everything that Owens pushes is aimed at poisoning hearts and minds against the Jewish state by suggesting theories that are completely invented to obtain maximum clicks, as she spreads lies and fantasies which have no basis in truth. Palestinian Islamic scholar Mohammed Nassarat, here are his exact words at a lecture he gave in Chicago on November 14, 2025. "We did not come here to coexist. We are superior to everyone else, and we will not be surpassed. No one is above us. If other religions want to live with us, they have to worship Allah," exposing the evil. While his words were condemned by some who honestly believe that he is an anomaly, amongst others like him who genuinely believe that our faiths are invalid and we have to be rejected in deference to Islam. This is a great evil in our time, ignored by much of Europe, that unsuspectedly opened its country to migrants with the same twisted ideology. It is why there is an annual Al-Quds March in London, where Palestinian flags are proudly waved, originally initiated in 1979 by the then Islamic Supreme Leader Ruhollah Mousav Khomeini, who backed opposition to Israel in support of the Palestinians. In 2007, Yusuf al-Qawadi, one of the leading intellectuals of the Muslim Brotherhood, said, "Islam will conquer Europe without restoring the sword of fighting. The conquest will be through ideology, understood the vulnerabilities and how to exploit them. Knowing the Western freedoms would facilitate their goals to fundize, mobilize and penetrate every sector of society. Radical Islamists still aspire to achieve world dominance. There are only some of the blatant evils, so easy to spot that even a dummy could recognise them. Sadly, the hour is late. Already seen are the unmistakable signs of free societies being overtaken as the benefits and blessings that once defied them rapidly disappear." So this is Zionism is racism, a dummies debate. Shalom, Maranatha, and hallelujah.